Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to basically what is a special presentation. And excuse me just a second, I gotta do something. Okay, as you can hear, we've got a special guest, and I'm gonna put her on early. Say hi to everybody, Amber. Whoop. See, Amber, say hi. Hi. Hello. Rub, rub. Say hi. She's even wagging her tail. You can't see the tail. Anyway, had a rather interesting thing happen today on my YouTube channel. Anybody that goes over to day 5 and reads the comments section is going to see a friendly little note that I was left. Now, Truth Punisher is a high ranking member of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. And so the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force has declared through the Truth Punisher that me and Craig Sawyer are going to be executed. So I just thought I'd come in here and say that if anybody wants to send me flowers, or possibly you can go to my PayPal account, and I believe my Gmail uh, is there, and in case I have to uh, plan for the hereafter. I haven't had the money to buy a prepaid funeral plan as of yet. So if anybody wants to help me pay for the funeral after I get executed, that might be appreciated. So now that we get that out of the way. But anyway, this is going to be, like I said, a brief live stream, 45 minutes, an hour maybe. I really didn't expect to go on the air tonight. Uh, I had been planning on, I don't know, just let me see. I got to figure out something here. Okay, it's still there. I don't know what I was. This is what's confusing me. I have another window open, so I'll take care of that. But anyway, uh, this is the third reference that's come up um regarding uh, references to my dying. As you may recall, uh, Timothy Charles Homestead did a video, and in that video, a song was put in there that is about someone shooting people. And I was sent a rather mysterious song that Homestead did uh, called I'm Going to Shoot You in the Face. Now, it's rather interesting timing that all this came at the exact same time. So I think that we are getting into a situation where the domestic terrorist organization, the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, has really decided that they are going to entice someone to execute me. And it looks like the Truth Punisher uh, is putting himself up. Now, legally, this is a death threat, and the appropriate entities have been notified. The only problem is that we do not know who Truth Punisher is. So, in order for me to provide a name to these sources so that a formal criminal complaint can be pressed forward, we need to identify and offer undisputed truth as to who Truth Punisher is. So I would suggest that this is going to be something that's going to be included in the project resolve, along with other things that are involved with that project, is we are going to have to start identifying people that are associated with the terrorist group, the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force, and uh, report them to the appropriate entities that can do something about their behavior. Now, what I'm going to do, since this is a little bit briefer than I expected, uh, is I'm going to go over. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to touch on that lipstick. Uh, the thing that's going around right now is that Field McConnell has violated his probation twice. He went on two separate um, YouTube channels and he violated twice by doing so. And I did a little checking around, and the answer I got is this: the subject did not seek nor obtain permission to go on the internet and did not seek or obtain permission to discuss anything in regards to his court proceedings and anything else specific to that. And the matter has been handed over to the appropriate personnel under advisement. Now, this would mean that Field McConnell lied when he said that he got permission to be on that show or either one of those shows. Now, Field McConnell should have known that we were going to be keeping an eye on him. That, um, if he made any kind of mistake, people were going to know about it. And so here we have Field McConnell twice now violating the conditions of his probation. And I don't know what made him think that he was going to get away with it. He had to know that people were keeping an eye on him and just waiting for him to violate. And he did it. So now we have the question as to what is going to happen to Phil McConnell. That's a good question. Now, the prevailing theory, as it's been told to me, is that it is likely that the probation office would decide whether or not they are going to uh, do anything about it. One, excuse me for just a second, I'm bringing up my notes. The two. They, as best I can figure out, he would possibly be incarcerated for 50 days while they go through an administrative review. They could take that step. And what they will probably do is they will have a surprise inspection and he will require to take a drug test. And they will probably, if not done already, will audit his accounts, his email accounts, social media accounts. They will go and look at the links that were provided to the two shows, uh, J.D. Wells shows that aired on November 2nd, and there was another show uh, with author Ray Guinness. I'm not sure, but there's a second video that came out around the end of October, and it was one of these things where it took 10 till now to find these shows. Uh, that's correct, Lipstick Pundit, and this is pointed out to the source of the information on what may or may not happen and the verification that Field McConnell did not get permission to go on the air. Now, he is claiming that the probation officer decided to give him the permission, and the problem is he can't do that. Um, the permission has to come from from Fort Lauderdale, and the judge that is presiding over the case. Phil McConnell just can't go to the probation officer and say, "Hey, I want to do this interview with this dude over on YouTube," and the probation officer says, "Okay, nope, can't do that." So um, there is the situation right now where they are going to investigate this, and it will be determined as to what is going to be done. Now, I covered a case a few years back. It was the United States versus Derek Losseter. Derek Losseter was exactly like Field McConnell in that he thought that he could get away with things. And he got hauled into court and said, if you do this again, you're going to go to jail. And he was sanctioned, told not to do it. And lo and behold, not a week later, maybe two, him and his wife were riding along in the car and they did a video. And what was it? It was Derek Losseter on camera talking about his case. And he tried to foist it off on his wife and says, "Well, my wife did it and I didn't even know about it," even though it was clear in the video that Derek Losseter knew that he was being recorded and that it was going up on her account. And this was shown to the judge. The judge hauled his ass back in court and said, "You're going to jail right now." They put the cuffs on him and hauled him out to prison right there and then. So he had to go to prison a month and a half earlier than he was uh, supposed to go. And so the court doesn't fool around with these people. And the judge outright and told him, "It says, I knew you were going to violate." I said, "I just knew it." And so, and Derek Losseter was on a very strict probationary period. And thank God for him, he didn't violate. And from what I understand, he's off probation and uh, doing who knows what in the state of Kentucky. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. Bill McConnell and Timothy Homestead are two peas in a pod. They don't think the law applies to them, and they're going to figure out some way to get around it. They're going to get caught, and in the case of Phil McConnell's going to go to jail. Simple as that. He will wind up with three squares and a cot right back down in Florida again. And when uh, he violates and he has to be dragged before the Florida court, before the Florida judge down there, little old me is going to be right down there in the exact same place, covering this case again. And hopefully he can violate before I go to Denver. Because if I find out that he has to go before the judge in Fort Lauderdale at the very same time I'm going to be going to uh, Colorado to cover the Cynthia Abzug case, I'm not going to be very happy uh, because I'm just going to have to forego being in the courtroom in person at Phil McConnell's hearing because the Cynthia Abzug case is more important. Uh, he didn't discover jack shit. I'm going to be profane here, so I hope whoever doesn't like my profanity don't mind. But he didn't discover anything. All he's doing is making stuff up off the top of his head and putting it out there. There is no truth to any of it. He is not capable of telling the truth. And, you know, his rhetoric is dangerous. And so is the rhetoric of this truth destroyer, the destroyer individual. And anyone who is following these people and supporting them, like the Time Has Come account, which is run under the Astro underscore X account, is supporting domestic terrorists because they are advocating uh the death of individuals. Okay, Laura, apparently you didn't understand. That's not the reason. Okay, this is the situation. Truth Destroyer has declared that I am going to be executed. Now, I don't know if this means that Truth Destroyer or Evil Destroyer or whatever the hell he calls himself is going to execute me himself or that somebody else is doing it, but this is a direct clarification. And if I am executed, there's a problem. I don't have the money to cover my burial, or if I get cremated, I don't have a dime. Social Security pays maybe a couple $100, which means whoever's left, which would be Cheryl and my family, would be burdened with taking care of my funeral expenses. So I'm just saying, if people are so inclined, they can send me some money, which will be put aside in a special fund so that if something happens to me, money will be provided to my survivors to handle my funeral expenses. And it will be simple. I'll just tell them there's a crematorium about 4 blocks from here. Have me cremated, put me in a cardboard box, and do whatever you want with it. It's $2,000-3,000. But this has gotten to a point where it's no longer a joke. There are people out there willing to declare on the social media that they are going to execute me. Simple as that. This right here. Truth Punisher wants to execute me. And he's not the only one. Phil McConnell wanted to execute Kim Picasio, send her to Gitmo. They showed up an image of her with her severed head on his channel, and people support that sort of thing. And it's really weird. Now Timmy, he falsely claimed that people wanted him dead. And nobody wants a guy dead. He's not worth someone going to life in prison or even getting the electric chair for offering him. He's not that important. So lipstick, that I would not mind that. There is a organization that does that. They send your remains or part of your remains up on rockets and stuff. And if I had the money, I would probably do that. It would be uh, nice to know that when I am pushing or when I am in a cardboard box, that part of me, or if not all of me, is up in space because I am very interested in the uh, space program. Well, Laurie, it's a money thing, and the reason is this: you have QAnon, you have the task force, and you have the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. They're over there on that extremist blog, and um, it's Truth Punisher. There's actually a Truth Destroyer. It's another account. I don't know if Truth Destroyer is the same or Evil Destroyer, whatever they call themselves, but it's similar. But Truth Punisher is the one who left the comment. This comment you see on the screen came from the comment section in my YouTube account. If you go to phase one, day 4, and get down through the comments, that particular comment will be there unless YouTube has deleted it. Um, I get notified when these things come, and it showed up in my email. So I went over to YouTube, saw that it was there, and I did a screen grab of it. Oops, where is it? Oh, here we go. And this is not the first time that I've been given a death threat. There was a individual by the name of Malik that over on Timothy Charles Homestead's Facebook account made a direct threat that he was going to come down to Orlando, where I was living at the time, and, quote, take care of me, close quote. Uh, yeah, Laura, they've got Gitmo on the brain. What they don't have a clue what Gitmo is or how it operates. Gitmo is a military base, and it became famous because they were holding some of the foreign terrorists there, including 9/11 participants, for trial. But they don't perform executions at Gitmo or anything of that sort. It's a kind of a holding place because they did not want these people on American soil. So they put them on an American base that is by treaty on the island of Cuba. And so that's where this Gitmo thing came from. And so let me get over here. Well, the QAnon's a joke. Uh, I'm surprised people are as gullible as they are when it comes to this movement. But then again, when you look at who supports QAnon and comes up with this garbage, it's kind of easy to understand how this all came about because QAnon is a fraud. Everybody knows it's a fraud. It was created by a pig farmer and his son, and people uh, fell for it. And it was a joke when it first came out, and it came to a point where um, people actually believe this stuff. Yep, no pay-per-view executions. I don't think I could air my execution because I don't know the method of execution or when it's going to take place. Am I going to be driving to the airport someday and somebody pots me off with an AR-15 or maybe, since the place where I park is atop a six-story building at the airport, they're going to push me off the roof. Uh, are they, what are they going to do? How am I going to get killed? Are they going to kidnap me, put me in a car, take me out in a field someplace, and hang me from a tree? I don't know. It's, one of those things where it's going to come as a complete surprise. I'm going to be dead. But, it is said that it was less than 1,000. It was right around 1,000, give or take. I mean, even if one person had shown up at that thing and it was one too many, I thought it was rather weird. Uh, well, you never know who's going to show up at these things. Um, but, the QAnons, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of seriously stupid people out there. I mean, this JFK thing is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And then on top of JFK, you've got, um, oh, the funniest thing is this "Go Brandon" insult that uh, is out there now. For a while there, people got a burr up their ass and got all excited because they were saying "Go Braden, go Braden," and for a long time, I couldn't figure out what is with this expression because basically it means fuck Biden, to be perfectly blunt. So by saying go Biden or go Brandon, go Brandon, go Brandon, they think that they are insulting Joe Biden. But this is the story. There is this guy by the name of Brandon. I don't know if it's the first name or last name. And they were interviewing him, I think because he won a race or something that had to do with a race at NASCAR. And there were a bunch of people chanting in the background. And the reporter made the mistake of, yeah, Jolly Ridge, this is the correct thing. I kind of abbreviated it. But they were going, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. That's what they thought they heard. But instead, they were talking about Joe Biden and F. Biden. And somehow it got caught on. And so everybody that goes around and says, let's go, Brandon, is actually saying fuck Biden or something close to that. And it's actually about the lamest thing I have ever heard. I couldn't figure out what in the hell Brandon or whoever Brandon is had anything to do with Joe Biden. And I finally found the story of how this nonsense started, and it's typical. Do I think Timmy has that power? He doesn't have the power to order people, but what you have going on here is something called incitement to violence. Tim Holmseth and his publisher, for quite a long time, has accused me of being a serial child murderer, a pedophile, a child trafficker. I've been accused by Homeseth directly of being the media spokesperson for an organization that is into child trafficking. So what happens is these people are over there on BitChute just about every single solitary day putting this propaganda out there. And what happens is there's going to be some brain dead vigilante out there that's going to decide to take the law into his hands and someone is going to get killed or seriously hurt. Now, here's a story for some of you newcomers. I don't know how many of you remember this story, but Preacher Dan was at a meeting down in Southwest Florida where he does his preaching things. And there was a guy that stood up in the back, and the guy said that he had been over to Kim Picazzio's law office. He had taken pictures of her and watched her comings and goings. And the guy said, "Give me the word, and I will, quote, deal with her," close quote. So there's a guy, never, you know, just showed up at Preacher Dan's gathering, said that he would deal with Kim Picazzio, and the whole room applauded him. This is the kind of people out there. Hundreds of them at this. There was like 100 or so of them at this meeting, and you've got Timothy Holmseth and Randy Lynn Erickson with this BitChute channel that has tens of thousands of people on it. All it takes is one individual with an AR-15 or even with a revolver to seek somebody out, and without warning, just off it goes. And take one for the Timmy. Excuse me. So, you have to take this kind of stuff seriously. These are veiled threats. It's a terroristic threat. It's illegal on the internet. It's illegal on the internet because it's interstate commerce. And we've already had an example of how incitement to violence works. And that's the case of Chris Hallett and his devoted fan, Neely Petrie Blanchard. Now, Neely Petrie Blanchard went to Chris Hallett in order to try and regain custody of her children. She joined up with Chris Hallett, promoted him. She even was driving around with an SUV that had E-Claws, the company that Chris Hallett formed, on his SUV. Now, one day, Neely learned through, it was said, either Tim Holmseth or one of those people associated with him, that Chris Hallett had determined that she was not entitled to have her children back. And he started actively preventing her from getting her children back. And this made Neely Blanchard so angry that she got herself a gun, went down to Ocala, Florida, confronted Chris Hallett, and executed him. And yes, executed, not merely killed him, executed him. She shot the man multiple times. While he lay dying, he turned the gun on the witness, who was Phil McConnell's current girlfriend, and her daughter, and they would have been dead had Neely's gun not jammed. So the two of those people skedaddled and went into a room. Neely Blanchard fixed the gun, went over to Chris Hallett, and emptied the chamber of the gun into Chris Hallett. Multiple shots. She then walked out of the house, got in her car, and calmly drove away, and was apprehended in Valdosta, Georgia, at a gas station, presumably filling up her car, and was hauled right back to Florida. And she told the authorities when she was interviewed that the reason she killed Chris Hallett is because he was preventing her from getting her children back, that he made promises he could not keep. He was not able to use his so-called connections in Washington, in Congress, and with Donald J. Trump to get her children back. He lied. And because he lied, he died. And this is what happens is people make these accusations. Someone out there gets angry for whatever reason, and violent action occurs. This is what happened with Neely Blanchard. It was said that a large number of people within the QAnon circles, task force circles, um, and so on and so forth, convinced this woman that Chris Hallett was double crossing her. She got mad and executed him. That's incite, that's actually being an accessory to murder if you could prove it. But this is, this is what happens. You know, people get wound up. And when they get wound up, they get angry. And when they get angry, they lose all common sense, all judgment, all whatever. And they take matters into their own hands, and people get hurt. Now, this guy who posted in my comment section declared that I'm going to be executed and that Craig Sawyer is going to be executed. So I'm not the only one with the death threat here. Chris Sawyer's got one too. You know, he has declared that Craig Sawyer is going to be executed. And it's a direct result of what Tim Holmseth has been writing for the past several years, backed up by his employer publisher, Randy Lynn Erickson. And then you have people out there by this evil destroyer uh, and all these other people out there promoting the same garbage and putting the safety and security of me and many others at risk. I've had people like Fireman John come in here for 5, 10 minutes and be a moderator. And the next thing you know, he is accused of being part of the Gemini murders. He's accused of all sorts of things simply because he was a moderator on my chat. And this is a thing, another thing I don't understand. We have this individual who goes by the handle of Astro. Um, Now, Astro is someone that I've had to contend with for 12 years. She hates Levi Page. She hates Kim Bacazio. And she threatens to try and get Levi Page fired from any job he has. She's made horrific accusations about Kim Bacazio. None of it is true. And she attacks me virtually on a daily basis. And I don't get it. You know, and see, the thing of it is, I don't get any of these people paying the attention they do to this channel. It's a small channel. I've got slightly over 1,000 subscribers. I average between 15 and 25 people that will come in here and log in and watch this as it goes. And then when it gets recorded, I'm lucky if I get 150 views over the space of several weeks. It is not a big channel. It is one of the smallest channels on YouTube. There's people that put up mouse traps, they put up live cameras of eagles, they go out and they sit by railroad tracks and take pictures of trains going by, and they get a hell of a lot more people to watch and join than I get here. I'm thinking of putting one of my streaming cameras on a tree outside, and maybe I'll catch a squirrel running around, or I've got all these little white birds that go around feeding themselves. Maybe I'll get a picture of the white birds, We've got a couple sandhill cranes in here. Uh, oh, here we go. And okay, now this is exactly what I mean. This picture here on the left is of Levi Page and some girl. Now, whoever apologized Astro is just demonstrated that there's nothing to apologize for. Because guess what? Astro is the source of this picture, and I have written proof of it. So there is nothing to apologize to Astro for. I will never, ever apologize to Astro. Astro is supporting domestic terrorists. She is supporting people that want me executed. I don't know what the deal is with Astro. What is such the big deal with this channel? She's the one that's over. She won't even have the courage to unlock her account. I cannot see what she writes over there. I have to rely on people that keep sending me stuff. No, I did not apologize. I have the post where she wanted it done. And I also have an individual within the last week that has been getting messages from her about the pictures. So don't sit there and lie on this channel. You are using an image that doesn't belong to you. That image of Levi Page is plagiarism. You have no authorization to use it. You're violating YouTube rules and you're violating Levi Page's privacy rights. You have no right to that picture, period. And now that you've posted it here on YouTube, uh, that is prima facie evidence of your violation of the law because it is a form of targeted uh, harassment. Hi, Alex. Thank you for coming in. I'm drinking hot chocolate. It's kind of cold down here where I'm at the moment. But I find it funny because, we can guess who this apologize to Astro is. Kendall, it's this way. There was a picture circulating years and years and years ago of a male in nothing but a pair of briefs lying face down on a bed. And they contend the individual that promotes this thing claims that it's Levi Page. And this has been going around and around and around for years. And I don't understand it. What is the big freaking deal? I mean, is this all these people got is uh risque pictures? I mean, I've seen worse on the internet. Um, this is tame by comparison. So I don't get it. I really don't. But this person's life is 24/7. Levi, 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 Alex, 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 me, Kim, 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 Kim. That's all you see on her timeline. Um, and people see this stuff, they send it to me and they say, "What the hell is this about?" And let me go into the account of the person who sent me the most recent stuff. And of course, we have this from Truth Punisher. Now, I thought this is kind of silly. I didn't really have time to produce this, but it's on Truth Punisher's account. 1,000 subs since January 3rd, 2017. Mert, interesting time to start a reporting channel. Isn't that around the same time Sawyer started VCR. Hell, I don't know. Uh, know when to throw in the trial, dummy. Pay attention. Why is this Truth Punisher so interested in this channel? And he says right there, I have 1,000 subs. Actually, I got, I think, between it varies. I think I jumped up to 1,019. So freaking what? Uh, yeah, and then he puts up, he's got a picture of my page up here. He's got a picture of day two, 34 views, 10 hours. He's trying to show that this is a small channel. I should just give up, throw in the towel, and take the channel down. Well, I'm not going to do that. Even if I stop live streaming, the channel's going to be here. It's going to be archived. Uh, there's channels bigger than me. There's channels smaller than me. So freaking what? What is it with this Truth Punisher that it's so important to address this channel? Uh, Now the same picture that I'm supposed to apologize for to Astro is on Astro's account a day ago. And the time has come, right? Kept DMing me emails having to do with Kim Pacazio. The only pic I have is lead page is this one. So Astro is just admitted that the picture that was in here under apologize to Astro came from Astro's account. It's a Levi page and a woman whose identity has been shielded. Many years ago, someone sent it to me. There are no pics of Page in his underwear at this inn. Well, if not, then why is somebody that we all know threatened to publish such a picture? And a time has come, writes, Mert equals the mouthpiece for Levi Page and Kim Pacazio. For years, they've been the aggressors here and think they are going to have people arrested and sued. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's up to them. Uh, Mert is so stalkerish that he noticed this account, favorites something Task Force tweeted before we began following each other. Well, why is she in contact with Task Force? Task Force is allegedly the woman that is running Tim Homeseth's channel and blog. And this is the woman that Astro called the Blizzard Witch and accused her of stealing Tim Homeseth and controlling him like a puppet, which actually I agree with. And she goes, the time has come. Task Force would naturally be interested things tweeted about Homeseth, the truth about the past. Yeah, all I do, write the truth about the past. If I hadn't listened to the Merch Show, I would have never known I was a sovereign citizen, filthy rich, a pervert, politically motivated. She admitted it. At one time, the person that had this account admitted to just that, admitted to a lot of things. And now all of a sudden, no, none of this is true. The only way this could happen is if somebody else besides the original Astro is running this channel. It's the only thing that makes sense because Astro said all these things. And at one time, there was another account holder over south of Tampa that declared that Astro wanted her to move to Virginia and live with her, and that they would have a lesbian relationship. Now, I don't know how true that is. This is back when radio news was doing her nonsense, so it was probably radio news that was doing it. The funny thing is, the time has come, has defended radio. Oh, I find this interesting. Mert isn't in control of his own show and is most likely waiting for his next script. I wasn't even active online, but the thugs wouldn't leave me out of things. Well, the thing of it is, we weren't discussing Astro at all. Her name never came up. All of a sudden, she started doing this hit and miss thing with her account. And she would put up something in her profile and then delete it. She would put up tweets and delete them. And these things would work their way to me by these mysterious accounts I never heard of. And so, Astro knows full well what she's doing. Um, to the roving reporter, the fact that you are unable to do your shows without mentioning certain people is pathetic. No matter how many alts you, Levi, Alex create in an attempt to make people look bad over there, you are all losers. Well, the thing of it is Astro is paying attention to this show. And the original reason I started this show is because Timothy Holmseth is putting my safety and security at risk with his false accusations. I cannot get a job because of all the crap that he has put on the internet. That's up to Levi. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he should be forced to do it. I think it's stupid that people are even talking about this. I mean, God, you can go on TikTok and see all the risque stuff you want over there. There's guys over there uh, dressed in all kinds of ridiculous stuff and half nude and everything else. So if you want to see risque pictures, go over to Instagram, go over to TikTok. Hell, you can even go on YouTube. There's all kinds of crap out there. You don't need, you know, why is Levi got to do this stuff? I just don't understand people. And quite frankly, I don't understand the time has come. I mean, why the obsession with this channel? I know you're kidding, but I'm making a point at the same time. Yeah, she is uh Randy Erickson owns all of it. She owns the block and she owns Task Force. That's clear. She's admitted it several times. And we have the archives. So, there is um brings up an interesting question. Um Aside from running around taking pictures of books and where he holds it up on the camera and it's, oh, here's my book. We haven't heard from Timmy. Now things are written in his name, but we don't know if it's Timmy writing this stuff. It's either Randy Lynn Erickson or a ghostwriter. And Task Force Randy Q Erickson is not her legal name. She put Q in there as a code so that people know her as Q. Her legal name is Randy Lynn Erickson. So, but it's but that's basically what I came in here tonight. It is to address the fact that there are people out there actively stating that I am going to be executed. And it's no longer just kidding or a joke. These people are quite serious. And so I've taken steps that if anything should happen to me, the name Lynn Erickson, um, Timothy Charles Holmseth, Field McConnell, and a few others are in an envelope for authorities to look at, along with copies of virtually every death threat that has been levied against me over the past several years. And so, you know, it's out there. If something happens to me, it'll be there for all to see. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go into uh, the courthouse records. I want to see. Uh, okay, let me do it this way. And this is one of the things that I get. uh, What I want to do is check the court dockets to see if anything has come up on, uh, say, Mary County, on Neely Blanchard. 'Cause I know that there was supposed to have been a schedule deposition that was going to be taken, and I believe that's going to be Monday. Uh, Figured I'd make that mistake. Let me do this over again. Okay, now let's try it. Yep, here we go. Okay, what happened to all the November stuff? Okay, so the last entry in the Petrie Blanchard case is 10/28, and 18th of October there was notice of taking a deposition. Uh, okay, that's going to happen at November 17th, 2021 at 1 p.m. There's going to be a deposition taken from Mark Scott, Kathy Sue Watson, and Jamie Grubbs by Zoom. One of these, let me think. Okay, Mark Scott's going to be in person, and then Watson is going to be by Zoom, and Jamie Grubbs is going to be by Zoom. And so that's going to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 17th of November. Um, and so we'll see where that one goes. That'll be interesting to see if we can get into that. But when it comes around, that's right in the middle of the month. So we'll see what's going on there. And pre-trial conference is January 3rd. And jury selection starts the 24th of January, which is the end of January. And that means that I am going to do Denver, or, I will be going to Cynthia Absug's trial first to cover that. And then I will go to the Blanchard trial and cover that second. And I will be at the courthouse in the courtroom for both of these cases. I've already made the arrangements with both judges. So all of that is taken care of. Jamie, I believe, is one of the witnesses. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have to, let me, okay, Jamie Grubbs. Okay, so let me do a search because okay, for some reason, it will back up. All right, I don't know as if I'm going to get much information on who this Grubb person is. Yeah, I'm going to have to dig and see who Jamie Grubbs is because it's coming up. Okay, let me try that. I may have. I can bring you in. I was going to sign off, but observer. Let me do this. Okay. That is my link um, to the show. Let's see. So if you know how to copy paste, you can do that. Not sure. What is it you want to discuss? All right. Well, that's the link anyway. I'll stay in here a couple of minutes and see if it works. If it doesn't, then because I really hadn't planned on being on beyond an hour. I have to drink that in order to keep my throat moist, otherwise I start off a coughing fit. Yeah, it's a new name to me too. I have no idea who that is. Well, Laura, it's like this. I am not going to allow people to run my life. If it's time for me to meet my maker, it's time for me to meet my maker. And if someone is stupid enough to carry out that threat, uh, maybe that'll be one way to get something done about Timothy Homestead because he would be um, an accessory after the fact. And he would be guilty of inciting someone to take me out. So, okay, so there's nothing new there. That basically closed. But, you know, if someone is determined enough to carry out that kind of a threat, that is a way to intimidate me and saying, "Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna be scared of myself. I'm gonna get off the channel. I'm gonna alter my lifestyle." And I don't do that. Unlike Timmy, I don't hide. I face anything. Somebody accuses me of something and they call the cops and the cops want to interview me, I'll be right there. And all of that. I don't bow down to anyone. Now, all I asked of Tim Homseth and uh, Randy Erickson a long time ago is to leave me the hell alone. Take the stuff they've written about me off the internet and stop this childishness. I don't care about Timmy. I don't care about Randy. I don't even care about Phil McConnell. I've got other stuff that I'm interested in, but these people will not stop. I even got to a point where I quit talking about them for a long time. And they kept talking about me behind my back. And the accusations got more extreme. And it finally got to the point where I give up. I can't ignore these people. I mean, Task Force goes out of her way to contact me, tells me I should get a job at Walmart. Well, I can't get a job at Walmart because Walmart checks social media. I've even talked to Walmart about this. I've talked to people in human relations there because I have warehousing experience. I could go into warehouse management and do that, but they won't hire me because of this crap. And there was another company I could have gone to work for, $53,000 a year, company car, benefits. Checked the internet, said, "Oh, we saw this blog called TimothyCharlesHomeseth.com. We can't take the chance. I mean, these people will be flooding our switchboard, wanting you fired, or they're going to boycott us. We can't afford that." And so I lost that job. And they know that. They know that no matter where I work, they're going to call up and try to get me fired. They did it to Levi Page. They called up all his potential employers and said, "Don't hire this guy." Send him all these links. You go over to Timmy's blog, he's got a whole section on me over there. Huge section. At one time it was titled Filthy Mert, but that sounded too childish, so they just call out William K. Murtaugh. And they've got caution, media perverts, William Murtaugh and Levi Page. Florida's most famous creep, William Murtaugh, implies Timothy Homseth has dead body in his vehicle. 2020. Something familiar to Epstein. Florida man William K. Murtaugh touts role in federal investigation, trafficking, and blah. And it goes on and on. There's just one right after the other. And it goes, I'm going to go all the way down on this. But we are looking at uh, December 8th, 2019. Child rape, murder confession. Here is the man who was working for Broward County Court. 2020, let's see. Pages and pages. Each page has 20 entries. Making a murder in Minnesota, November 24th, 2018. This is how far back Tim Homseth has gone on this new blog. See, this is his new blog, the one that Randy Erickson owns. So since 2018, we are coming up on let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21. 4 years he's been at this. 4 years. On this blog alone has this section all about me on this blog for 4 years. This does not count his YouTube channel, which was taken down. That goes back even farther than that. But this is a guy that for the past 4 years has been going after me. And he whines and cries that everybody's out to get him. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, smoke. You go over to the old blog, and it goes way back to 2010, 2012, where he started in on me. So this is nothing new. That's how long this has been going on. And it's all documented out there. You can Google search my name, William K. Murtaugh. You can Google search Mert Witness 1 from the desk of Mert Witness Live, and this stuff all comes up going back years and years and years and years. And potential employers check this stuff. And they know. They look at this and say, hell, you got a history that goes back 10 years. Calling you this, calling you that. There's this chat that you're supposed to have done, talking about raping kids and stalking kids at malls and all that. Well, Laura, it's like this. Walmart cannot afford bad publicity. Now, Randy Erickson knows that if I were to go to Walmart, it would be one of the 3 locations within 10 miles of my house. There's a Sam's Wholesale, there's a Walmart 15 minutes from my house. There's a Walmart that's down in Orlando that's a half hour from my house. All they have to do is find out that I am working from Walmart, and I guarantee you that they would be on the phones to human relations at the Apopka store saying that they have a pedophile working for them. They have this working for them. And it's all over. And Google it. Companies are checking social media. They are um, okay, there's even I'm going to bring up something just to show you. Grappler, I tried that and was turned down. Because I this here is a link to an article called how. And let me. No, I want to do it there. If I go there off my chat, it'll blot it out. But the title of that particular link is How to Use Social Media for Applicant Screening. Many employers use social media in various ways to screen applicants. Employers might look to collaborative information provided by the candidate to review writing samples and so on and so forth. And then it goes on, it shows the employers create a social media screening process, prepare screening questions for the position, conduct the screening, prepare to provide a report to the hiring manager, retain the documentation. Before screening begins, and it goes down through which position will be screened. Will the employer screen for all positions or only those at a certain level? And it goes through and basically advises people future and prospective employers as to how to screen employees on social media. Because the perfect example, and in one article, uh, Career Builder found that 58% of employers conduct social screenings to look for information supporting a candidate's qualifications for the job. 50% want to ensure the candidate has a professional online persona, and 34% want to see what other people are posting about the candidate. This last one is exactly what I'm talking about. When you get the kind of things that have been going on with the Capitol riots, people getting involved in all kinds of awkward. Whoops! Somebody came in and went right back out again. I didn't see you in time. You may want to try that again. Uh, but this is what. And then there's another article. 54%. Oh, I hate that. 54% of employers have eliminated a candidate based on uh, social media. Time to clean up your feed and tags. Well, I can't clean up my feed and tags because Tim Holmseth and Randy Lynn Erickson keep putting this crap up on the internet. And once again, I will put this article in here. I don't write this stuff in a vacuum. I do my research, and I've had personal experience. This was published in Inc. magazine. This is a magazine that is targeted towards executives. And it goes on and basically says that of those hiring managers who choose not to hire someone due to their social media presence, the top reasons given why were that candidates had posted provocative or inappropriate photos, videos, information. 39% of employers. Now, what does Tim Holmseth do? He puts up the falsified chat that long. Okay, let me bring this in. Yeah, Michael Slurry. Okay, Jim. You're in here with the Avatar General Flynn. You need to unmute your mic. Um, and it won't allow me to do it. Uh,
Mert, I want to apologize to you. I used to be mean to you on Twitter, but then I realized just how menacing Timothy and Randy are. They scammed one of my best friends out of thousands of dollars.
wow. This is a thing that I get every once in a while is this people get involved with Randy or Tim and they wind up losing a lot of money. And this basically is wire fraud. Go ahead, Jim. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I can't elaborate on it any further because there is going to be legal action taken against them. But I just wanted to publicly apologize to you. You didn't deserve the hatred that I spewed towards you. Did not, Mert.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear from you, Jim. The the thing of it is, all I really want to have happen is for people to do their research and make sure that whoever you're listening to is a trusted source, and this includes me. I'm not going to automatically say that you need to um, take everything I say as fact. Fact check me. Um, you know, check what I have to say. There's alternative ways that people can check and see what is and what is not true. If I make a mistake and say something that's incorrect, I will stand corrected. That's been my philosophy from day one. I'm not here saying that I am the third in line from the president of the United States, or I know a lot of important people, or that I'm a secret agent or work for the CIA or any of that. All I am is a retired truck driver. I run a small YouTube channel, and I've got these idiots saying this weird crap about me. And so all I'm doing with this channel is defending myself. And now I'm getting death threats. Um, and you can't take these things as a joke because there's been too many people out there that have gotten in the sights of the gun of a vigilante that have either been killed or suffered for it. We have a lot of violent things going on in this country and overseas. And when you start spreading these dangerous kind of rumors, then you are going to get uh, troubling results. And yet, there's a guy that was killed because somebody falsely accused him of being a pedophile. This has happened more than once. There's all kinds of things going on because people are getting falsely accused, and it's people like Timothy Holmseth that are doing it. And now, as we hear from this call tonight, there's people uh, out there getting scammed out of money because of these people. Laura, this is a question that comes up quite a lot. In order to get this stuff removed, you have to go into civil court, which means you have to hire a civil lawyer that's an expert. Lawyers get, on average, $200 an hour. It's called billable hours, and it even goes up from there. Getting social media removed from the internet is extraordinarily difficult. I've been fighting this problem since 2008. I have talked to I don't know how many lawyers, and I've been told the same thing. It is nearly impossible to get this stuff down. Because what happens, it goes up on the internet as a URL. You may get what is said in the post or website where the URL directs you to, but you cannot get rid of the URL. These people deliberately write the headlines so that if you do a Google search of me, my username, my blog, or what have you, you're going to see the headline. That cannot be removed. It's impossible. It's been tried. And to even get to the point of getting the content of the URL removed is hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. There's reputation management companies that will charge you an exorbitant amount of money to come in and clear your reputation. And all they do is they put up a boatload of favorable links so that when somebody does a Google search of you, it's buried under all these favorable links. But again, that's expensive. It does not eliminate the searches. If you go, if you just are determined enough and keep going through the many pages that are on Google or any other search engine, it'll eventually show up. So once it's on the internet, it's permanent. You're not going to get rid of it. This is what people need to understand is there's no such thing as taking a time machine and going back like that and doing something. It just can not be removed. That's what I said to Timmy. I said, it's too late. I said, I'm sitting here countering what you and Randy put out there about me, but it's too late. I can't get rid of this stuff. You people have permanently damaged me. I am 71 years old. And the older you get, the harder it is to get employment. I used to drive for a living. You look at applications online, a lot of them say the upper limit is 65 years old. That's long ways in my rearview mirror because the older you get, the riskier you are to a commercial insurance company, the less likely they're going to allow the employer to put you on. So the insurance companies step in and says, "No, you don't." And since I cannot pass a DOT physical to get my CDL license back, that means that the employers are going to see that there are health problems that I have where I can't drive a tractor trailer, so they're not going to let me drive a straight truck or even a car because I can't pass a DOT physical. There's companies out there that will hire you even if you don't have a CDL, but they will make you take a physical. And if I take a physical, they're going to see that I cannot pass my DOT and I don't get that job. And those jobs don't pay very much. You're talking about $10 an hour jobs because Florida, the minimum wage is $10 an hour. So I'm basically shit out of luck, as they say. And because of this other business where the employers check your background, uh, anything management level where you're getting 50, 60, $70,000, it's done. I can't do that. So, so Tim and Randy have won. They basically made it so I can't do anything. So I live on Social Security and what little I make on YouTube, which isn't a whole hell of a lot. As a matter of fact, right now, because of this AdSense things, I can't even get any revenue until I get that straightened out, and I'm having a hell of a time with it. Uh, so I basically have to live off Social Security and what little outside money I can make from odds and end things that I do. And here we are. And yet, Tim Holmseth says I'm an informant, a witness. I work for the CIA, FBI, NSA, what have you. That I'm a paid media consultant for Kim Bacasio, and where's the money? There's no damn money there. And with these new IRS rules out there, if Kim or anybody else was paying me, the IRS would know about it. So there's just nothing I can do. The only thing I can come in here on this pitifully small YouTube channel is to discuss what's happened to me, bring out what these people are doing on the internet, and maybe prevent someone like the individual that just came in here from being ripped off by these people. And there are investigations going on into what they're doing. The investigations have been going on quite some time. And someday, when the government gets off their fat ass, they're going to start lowering the boom on these people. These people are going to start going to jail. Simple as that. They may think they're not. They may think that Donald Trump or JFK Jr. or Lynn Wood or somebody else is going to save their ass, but they're just kidding themselves because they just are completely uh, going off the deep end and digging their own grave. Uh, that would be a nice idea, Laura, but number one, I'm not gonna have people do anything. They can do it on their own if they want. But the thing circles back to the internet and what has been posted there. Okay, Laura's coming in. Okay, Laura, you're on the air.
Can't
I
you
see
leave
you got a
Randy and
human on
Timothy
the.
alone? I'd like to see you create a task force and work with the president. Are you scared that they're going to arrest some pedophiles and bring down the deep state? You shut up, old man.
Well, see, here's the
All you
problem,
have to do is
Laura.
check out the executive orders that Donald Trump made about child trafficking. You and your buddies are about to go down and you're scared. And that's why you do these shows. You get people
Laura.
Why don't you tell
Oh,
everyone what you all did?
okay. I love these people that come in here. Yeah, this is yeah, somebody coming in here misrepresenting themselves. This is the problem, Laura. Tim Homseth is a fraud. Tim Homseth is a liar. Tim Homseth does none of those
Why
things.
don't you tell everyone what you all did to Fiona Barrett? Confess. Where is Fiona? Where did she go? And by the way, what happened to Isaac? You know he didn't commit suicide.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know Fiona Barrett. Isaac is a complete lie. You people, I don't know what kind of drugs you're on, Laura, but you are stupid. And yeah, of course it's a recording because I can't interrupt it. Uh, I don't know where the hell that came from, but no, I have experience with uh soundboard and all that. And almost immediately, if you try and interrupt somebody, they won't shut up. And the reason is because you're talking to a recording. Uh, there's a guy by the name of Renzo Loves Cake that used to do this. So this person came in here, thought they'd pull a fast one and do this sit on my channel. And it was obvious to everybody that it was a recording because I don't know Fiona. I have nothing to do with Cappy. And uh this is an example of what these people will do. They cannot get the message out on their channel. So they come in here. The minute I saw the QAnon symbol, I knew we had a troll. I'm not stupid. You put a picture up of QAnon, dead giveaway right off the bat. Before I even unmuted you, I knew exactly what I was getting into. I wanted to see what kind of stunt these people are doing to show everybody in this room and people that watch this video when it's recorded on YouTube exactly how these people work. They're liars, they're frauds, and they are going to ruin this country if this isn't put to a stop. These are people that believe JFK Jr. is alive. They are people that believe all of this weird crap. She's probably one of the idiots that stood down in Dealey Plaza waiting for JFK Jr. and John F. Kennedy to show up. And of course, they didn't. And now they're saying, well, maybe on New Year's Day, or maybe they'll show up at a rock concert, blah, 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 blah. We go through this all the time with these people. And people will not give it up. And it's, this cult mentality out here. This is like Jim Jones uh, version 2 or David Koresh, where these people get so infatuated with these leaders that they will commit suicide if they're asked to do so. Yeah, I figured that's what it was, Fern. It had to be pre-recorded because it didn't make any sense. And I saw the cue and I knew right off the bat I was in for a trolling. I let her on the air just to see what she was going to say. And it's so predictable. It's so predictable. It's just pathetic the way these people work. Excuse me. This is a channel with about 1,016 people in it. And when I come on the air, we have an average of 15, 20. I had as many as 23, 24 tonight. But that's how many people actively chat on this room. So, I'm not some big 20, 30,000 viewer channels. Hell, even Dodger Stone has a bigger influence than I do. Well, that didn't work. But it's pathetic that someone as small as me has to put up with this crap. But that's the mentality. These people are desperate. They can't get a mainstream audience. People see QAnon and they turn them off, and they have to go sliding over into the Twilight Zone at BitChute. I don't know why they can't leave me alone, Rebecca. I think it's stupid, to be honest with you. You can almost uh, expect it. Well, Ariana, if you take offense, that's just too darn bad. But I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Uh, I don't get these people. So, but you know, they come in here. 19 people. One of them is, I don't know who this is, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like talking to a wall. These people have built up a wall of hate around them. Um, they're not going to listen to any alternative viewpoint. They're not going to do any sensible research. They take the word of a pig farmer and his son who own a pornographic website that has a lot of um, child pornography in it, pornography, period, and people that have a wanton disrespect for the law and a complete lack of ethics. And they don't give a damn about this country. They want to see this country fail. Um, and so that's where we're at. You know, I don't know what else to say at this point. It's the same thing. We go through this all the time. We get these people that come in here that do nothing but create mischief. They don't contribute a thing. Uh, and then they run away and scurry into their little dark corner and think, "Oh, ha ha ha! We got our 2 minutes of fame on the channel." We're obsessed with Homeseth because of what he does, and I know that there's people over at BitChute that, for some strange reason, believe this guy. But these people will uh, believe anything. Uh, Now, this latest video that they posted, uh, they claim that 7,147 people have watched the channel. Now, um BitChute is one of these channels where you can buy viewers. $4.95 will buy you a bunch of fake viewers. So, it's the same old same old. The same fraud and trickery every day. Everybody wants a liberal vice president and Trump restored. That's what's so funny is that uh, JFK Jr. Um, JFK Jr. is a liberal, yet they want him to be vice president of the United States when Trump is reinstalled, and then Trump will step down. He will become president, and General Flynn will become vice president. You know, no votes required. We just, in you go. Now, see, this should give people a big clue here. They only want one point of view, and that's the QAnon point of view. They don't want any alternative points of view. It would be completely eliminated. They don't tell you that. They just say, oh, there's the big lie that Trump was screwed out of his election, that it was all a big fraud, and that we're going to put him back in there. But they don't go on to explain how they're going to handle differences of opinion. Now, we've already got a blood feud going on between General Flynn and Lynn Wood. Laura's back again. And this is probably going to be another. I'm going to bring this in just to show you the kind of people we're working with here. And we have dead air.
And Murray, you want to try to tell everybody, all the lemmings, the sheep, in your chat, that I'm a robot,
this
that
one's
I'm
a
not a
live
real
one.
person. You cut me off, you mute me, you disconnect me. You cannot censor the truth.
Well, you've got task force over on BitChute. Why not go over there? I've only got 20 people in here, and you cut yourself off, by the way. Because when I go to full screen, that means that you've gone away. If you don't like this channel, then quit coming here. I don't understand you people. Tim Homeseth has got a blog. Tim Homeseth has got 2 BitChute channels. Is the one under his own name he doesn't even use. You got 7,100 people over there. Why do you need to come here? What is the big deal? This is what I have a hard time understanding. You come in here, you say this bullshit, and then you run away. And then you whine and cry because I pick on poor little Timmy. Well, it ain't happening, chickie. If you don't like this channel, don't come here. No one is forcing you to come here. Nobody is saying that you are required under the law to come here. And if I decide that I want to cut somebody off, it's because you won't shut up long enough for me to have a discussion with you. I was trying to have a discussion with you, and you kept right on yammering. So I said, screw it. This is my show. It is not your show. So if you don't like it, out the door. God, what is with these people? Are they that? Yes, they are that stupid. I'll answer the question before I even ask it. I mean, the population of this planet is somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 5 billion. That's what the B. And out of the 3 billion, 5 billion people out there, most of whom are on Facebook or YouTube, I've only got 20 people on average that come in here and have any kind of discussion. They'll watch the channel. Some may sit here and talk, but that's it. And you, Laura, have got your burr up your ass about a channel with 20 people in it. Now, how sad is that? And they're not really harassing me because I control the board here. When Laura pops up, I can choose not to put her on the air. I can just let her sit there and stew because she cannot come on this channel until I hit the connect button. So right there, she lied because I, by clicking on her icon, gave her permission to come in here. Now, this channel is not a democracy. In a way, it's just like Q. I can't go over and comment, by the way, Laura, on BitChute. I'm blocked. I have tried and tried and tried again to put uh, a comment on BitChute on Timmy's channel over there, and it won't go through. And yet they can come over here and tell me I'm going to be executed in my channel. Yeah, they're saying that General Flynn is a pedophile. He's a Satanist. Um, there's a big feud going on between Flynn and Lynn Wood. And what's funny is that at one time, Tim Holmseth was a big fan of General Flynn, called him a hero. You can go back through the archives and you will find where Tim Holmseth was singing the praises of General Flynn. Then all of a sudden, someone comes out of the blue and starts attacking Lynn Wood, or I mean, attacking uh, General Flynn. And this is the QAnons now. This isn't the so-called um, press, fake press, whatever you want to call them. It's QAnons. If QAnon starts attacking Jen Flynn, then people like Tim Holmseth jump on the big one. Oh yeah, we got to go after Jen Flynn now. So you know that Tim and Randy and a bunch of these others are being controlled by a central command, and it's not the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force or the Joint Command or anyone else. It's people high up in the food chain in QAnon that's running the show here, or the sovereign citizens. So this is where we're at here, and QAnons are nuttier than a fruitcake, and the sovereign citizens are a close second because they don't come up with alternatives. They say this we want to do the plan, we want to do the storm, we want to do this, that, and the other thing, but they don't have anything in their place to show for it. They just say we want, we want, we want, but they don't say what they want. All they don't want Biden in power. They don't want half the politicians or Republicans in power. They don't like General Flynn now. They don't like Vice President Pence now. So you don't know where these people are going, and they shoot off their mouth. They collect all this money because in the end, folks, that's really this is all it's about is money. Because you see it. You see it money, 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 money. And it's right on Tim's blog. You go over to Tim's blog and it's right there. You got Patreon, you got this, you got that. He's got 4 or 5 different mechanisms to make money and he's active with it. So, this and then, task force will say, oh, gots to get paid. Brings in the ZZ's top song. Gots to be paid. It's not about money, but gots to be paid. It is about money. She isn't fooling anybody. Okay, Laura Q. We'll do that. We'll call her Laura Q. I apologize. I think she did that on purpose because she wanted to make me be suspicious of you. And, um, for a minute there, I thought, what the hell's going on here? And then I realized that, it was someone that created a troll and they decided to use your name in the process. But that happens. They've done it before. But, I get a kick out of it. I think it's funny. The They do this all the time. And I don't like censorship, but there has to be some kind of control. You can't when you want to discuss, say, the Neely Blanchard case or the Cynthia Abzug case or something specific like that, I don't like having it steered off topic into something that is pure nonsense. And these people do it on purpose because they're desperate for attention. The, they're on the Q version of the Titanic, it's a sinking ship. QAnon probably won't last more than a couple of years. Um, we're seeing every day that people are steering away from it. Yeah, Laura, this is what I was talking about. They are calling Michael Flynn a Luciferian. Now, I'm not sure what started down this road. I think there was a prayer or something he mentioned or something in one of his chats. Uh, I'm no big fan of General Flynn either, so I think it's kind of funny that he's being attacked. And Tim Holmsath, who is the third person from Trump, special spokesman, seems to forget that it was Trump that pardoned this guy. That if it had not been for Donald Trump, Michael Flynn would still be cooling his heels in prison. And so now Tim Holmsath has turned his back on a friend of Donald J. Trump. I find this interesting. These people don't think things through. They don't understand that when they're supporting somebody or against somebody, it's across the grain from what their God, Trump, is supporting. And I see this all the time. And this Flynn thing between Flynn and Lynn Wood is exactly what I'm talking about. Uh, Donald Trump, as far as I know, still supports Michael Flynn. Now, Lynn Wood, for whatever reason, got a burr up his ass and has turned against Lynn Wood, as a lot of people. But the funny thing is, there are different groups within QAnon and so forth that are fighting each other. You got people that are on the side of Flynn, you got the people that are on the side of Lynn Wood, and you got people against Flynn Wood, and you got people against Flynn, and then you got people that are against the both of them because they say they're just it's a psyop. They're pretending to hate each other because they're trying to screw up the QAnons. So it's these people can't make up their mind which way to go, and then splintering these people. This is the exact same thing that happened to Anonymous. 'Cause Anonymous was totally unorganized. They came out of the gate saying that we are not an organized structure. Uh, one can be anonymous, 20 can be anonymous. You can all do your own thing. And that was an inherent weakness between Anonymous because they didn't have a mission. People were going all over the place, doing whatever they damn well please. It was a perfect example of anarchy. And Anonymous now has been marginalized to the point where they're just a joke that shows up every once in a while, breathing fire, and somebody throws water on it. And this is going to happen to QAnon because it's starting to splinter. You're getting different factions of QAnon that believe their own thing, and they're all getting mixed up. These rallies are getting smaller. This thing in Dealey Plaza was a joke. They thought there was going to be a huge number of people out there, and there was maybe 1,000, 2,000 people. That's not very many people. You know, for a nationwide, global movement to come out for something as huge as JFK Jr. and the rest of the Kennedy family showing up at the very place where John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And it was a bust. I mean, there's some people that made a boatload of money. There's a guy selling T-shirts for $20 a pop that made a fortune because people were buying this crap and the hats and the flags and the little Q thingamajiggies. I mean, that's all it is money. And these people are too stupid to understand that. And this goes on over and over and over again. And we got this pillow guy moron who's in there doing his thing. And it's just going downhill at an astonishing rate, and it's going to implode. And people are going to look back a year or two from now and say, how the hell did we ever get involved in that mess? And the damage that these people have done to themselves is going to be permanent because people are going to know who they are, know what they were involved with, and they are going to be permanently ostracized. They've destroyed themselves for no reason other than to be stupid. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I would appreciate it, you all, if you would like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. I'll be back again. I may come in tomorrow. I may come in Sunday. I don't know yet because this was, got a cough. This was kind of a impulsive thing because somebody decided they wanted to um, give me another death threat. But I'm going to look over things, see if I have anything that I can come with and do a halfway decent show tomorrow, or I mean Sunday. So we'll see what happens. But until then, I appreciate all you coming in, even the trolls, because you were entertaining. And I hope you all have a good rest of the weekend. Be safe out there. Take the jab, wear the masks, blah, blah, blah. And just do your research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Timmy's word for it. Don't take anybody's word for it. Look yourselves. Look at all the different spectrums out there, multiple sources, and trust your instincts. That's the most important thing. Trust your instincts. And so, with that, until we meet again, have a good one. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Thanks, Rebecca, Laura, Kingfish, and so forth. Bye.